Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am photographing more books to list on eBay. I want to point this one out really quickly and why you should always check the sell similar, list similar. So this is an iScapades program. I did find it on eBay. I put sell one like this. So when you scroll down, you can hit sell similar. It used to be sell similar, but I think it's now sell one like this. So I put sell one like this. I actually had an offer on it, and thank God they put an offer in, because if they would have just bought it, I would have had to cancel the order, or they would have given me an item not as described, because I did not look at the sell similar. Sell similar, in the description, it said it was signed. Mine is not signed. The ones that are signed are going for a lot more. I'm, again, super thankful that the person put an offer in, so I was able to go back because it said, I noticed it said signed in the title too. This was a complete and total myth on my part. I should have noticed this. I am not a brand new baby eBayer. This is a rookie mistake. I did not notice it. They made an offer. I went and looked at mine, double checked to make sure that it was not signed. It was not signed. There was no signature anywhere. The only thing that you saw on the very front page was a date. It was like February 97 or something like that written in there. So I denied the offer, but in my message when I declined it, because I would have accepted the offer that they gave me. The offer that they gave me was fine, dandy, I would have accepted it, but in my decline of the offer, you can leave a message, and I declined the offer, and I left the message that I am so sorry, this is not autographed. I cannot take your offer because I have to go and revise the listing. So as soon as I declined the offer and it sent the message, I revised the listing, and they did not make another offer, so they are obviously going for the autographed part of it. And when I relisted it for a lot less because, again, it did not have the autograph. But I think I might still have it in the store, or I might have sold it. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I was able to go in and revise the listing as soon as I realized that. Thankfully, the person didn't buy it right out. Thankfully, they put an offer in. Thankfully, I caught it. But again, I am not a baby reseller. This is, I'm at least a teenage reseller at this point. Oh gosh, we've been reselling for almost, oh geez, this makes me still feel so old. I've been reselling for almost 20 years on this platform. Ironically, our reselling started with books. And so we're coming full circle, but our reselling started in kind of a shady way with books, and I do not recommend doing this. But when we were in college, my husband and I, at the end of every semester, teachers would often put textbooks outside their classrooms that they were getting rid of, that they, the publishers gave them, and they chose not to pick them up for whatever reason. And I understand because that still happens. But right now, publishers tend to give e-copies of this because I think for this reason. But we'd go into the academic buildings by where the professors' hallways were, and we would pick up the books that were being given away for free and would list them on eBay. They were textbooks. A lot of times they were instructors' textbooks, so they had the answers and stuff in them. Some of them came with CDs with like test banks and everything on there. That's kind of the shady part. We were selling people things so they could essentially cheat because it was the instructor's copy. It was all of that. But when a young 20-year-old probably didn't think about it being wrong, and I did not think about it being wrong, and quite frankly, eBay back then was the wild, wild west. You had one picture, people sent you money orders, all of that. So we did not list them on half.com because that was more like serious, and this was more, again, eBay was more like black market back then. Not really, because I don't want to speak bad of it, but it was more anything goes. More the wild, wild west, where half.com was more of vetted books. I would not buy books off eBay. I would sell the books on eBay, but I would buy off half if I needed to. This is also where Amazon was very not there yet. eBay was still the thing. Facebook was just getting started. Facebook Marketplace did not exist. Word of mouth, a lot of times at colleges where people would put up, I say on message boards, but where people would put on the actual message, like bulletin boards. I have these books for these classes. You know, make me a deal, so to speak, or I will trade for this, for this. So there was a lot of that, but there really wasn't a lot of buy this online. And as a student, I didn't even think about buying the instructor copies online, but I was selling the instructor copies online. And the instructor copies even say not for resale, but it's a little hinky there because the original person that it was given to for free can't resell it, but if they like gave it to a donation center, then they could resell it. Could I resell it? I don't know because I picked it up for free. It's kind of like what other people have talked about at the end of the year to drive around colleges and get furniture or electronics and stuff that they just can't take back with them. If they're graduating, stuff like that, you may get like a decent mini fridge. Or, you know, maybe a table or a computer desk or something that has to be left behind. So this is the same way instructors just get way too many copies of books. And with having that many copies of books, they do have to get rid of some of them. And by doing that, they are able to leave it behind, or, you know, entrepreneurs like myself and my husband could go around and sweep them up, pick them up. I remember walking around with like a big messenger bag and like putting the books in the messenger bag. Some of the books I did keep for myself, but a lot of them I did list. And some were good money, some were not good money, some were old copies, so they were only like $10. But honestly, I would take $10 now. So that's how we kind of started eBay, was doing that. I know one of our first when we decided, hey, we're going to do this more frequently, still not full-time. We're not full-time now. We'll probably never be full-time because, you know, stability. But one of our first sales when we created a store, because before that we had not had a store, we were just selling individually. I don't know if they let you sell individually anymore, but before we even made a store, one of our first, we were selling books and stuff, and then we made a store, and one of our first sales on the store, and this is a funny story because, oh my gosh, how did we not get a horrible feedback on this? Brand new baby sellers, again. I never really dealt with shipping before. We sold a Laserdisc. I don't know why. My husband's parents had a Laserdisc player in their basement, and we sold a Laserdisc from it. And we had no packing material at this time because, again, brand new to selling. We had not, now even, we have packing material, even being part-time, which, by the way, I don't know if it's the first of the month when you see this, order your free packing material from eBay if you have a store. But anyway, one of our first sales when we got the store was a Laserdisc. And we didn't know how to pack it, didn't know what to do. So we went to the post office and basically said, here, how do I pack this? I kid you not. And I don't know why we're like, oh yeah, that's totally a great job. Awesome. Okay. The guy, the postal service guy, he looked like he'd been there a while. He knew what he was doing. Takes a plain Tyvek envelope, not bubbled, nothing. There's no padding to this Laserdisc whatsoever. The Laserdisc is in a sleeve like a record. So he puts this Laserdisc in a plain Tyvek envelope, seals it up, and goes, yeah, that should be good. I don't know how this Laserdisc made it to where it was going. 100% no idea. We did not get bad feedback from that. We also never got good feedback from that. So I'm really sincerely hoping that it made it okay. And that was one of our first times selling while established a store. I would never, ever do that now. I would not just put it in a Tyvek envelope, seal it up, and send it out. And I don't know why we're like, oh yeah, totally, great idea. put this breakable thing in just an envelope. Yeah, it's waterproof. Yeah, you're not going to be able to cut through it. But what is keeping this laser disc from shattering? And I honestly don't know. I don't know if it shattered. It could have shattered. But like when you look back to how you first started reselling and you're just like, oh my gosh, how did that even happen? Why did that happen? Why did I let that happen? All of that. And I was so like, oh my gosh. Another one of our really big sales that we had right after we started a store, and kind of the thing that projected us to starting a store. We found a pair of very vintage Ray-Ban glasses before they were Ray-Bans, and there was a different name and I don't remember what it was. We just looked at them. They were really cool cat eye glasses and picked them up. They were prescription, but there were more readers, less specific, and we sold them as prescription lenses. I don't know if someone replaced the lenses for the frames, but the frames were really cool. We sold those for over $200. I want to say close to $250 for just these vintage Ray-Ban frames. We never got positive feedback on it. I mean, granted, it's been 3 years, so I'm assuming it went well. But it was like, oh my gosh, I was nervous doing that. We didn't put any insurance or anything on it then because, again, we were idiots. I didn't send it priority. I didn't even have $100 like padding on that. It just went normal first class, which doesn't exist anymore. It's now Ground Advantage. And we packed it really well. No idea if it got there. No way to insure it. So that, again, was another rookie mistake. One of the things we did, our next really large sale, and then the video will be over, but our next really large sale was learning manipulatives. And these were the ones that you like make squares and stuff out of. And I bought the entire case for $25, and which was high. $25 for us is pretty steep. That's our cost of goods. That is really high for us. So we need a high return. And instead of selling the entire case, I broke it apart and sold each packet. So it was 4 booklets and a case of the manipulatives. 4 booklets and a case of the manipulatives. And I was able to get 10 packets out of that. And I sold them for $25 a piece. So every packet was $25. And those sold very quickly. And I was very pleased with that. Am I ever going to run into that again? Probably not. And that is one downfall to being the type of eBay seller that we are, is a lot of it's one-offs. We're not going to have consistent suppliers. We are very, very thrift shop reliant, Goodwill reliant. We don't, do pallets or have people like looking for stuff for us. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and have a productive day.